Hello and welcome back. We're looking at the last four questions on our 2016 midterm, so that'll be 29 through 32. And what have we got? 29 here. The figure below is the graph of the depth of the water in meters being held behind a dam as a function of t. I assume t is time, 0 to 15 hours. Which of the following statements is correct? And it looks like they've highlighted some particular points, A, B, and C. Let's make sure to read all the possible answers carefully so that we understand them. So, A, the water depth is falling, so decreasing, at the fastest rate approximately at point A. The water depth is falling at its fastest rate approximately at point B. The water depth is falling at its fastest rate at approximately point C. The average change of water depth from between 2 and 5 is approximately minus 3 meters per hour, or none of A to D. All right. So water depth falling, that's a rate of change of the water depth, which makes me think derivative, which makes me think slope. So I'm going to grab another color here. Just draw a little sort of tangent line so I can gauge their slopes. So, you know, the C is a very shallow, but still pointing up to the right, so it might be a small positive number. B here, very steep negative slope, so a large negative number. A very steep positive number. So A would represent sort of a sharp increase, B quite a decrease, C an increase, sort of a moderate increase. And what about this average rate of change of the water between 2 and 5? Well, 2 is about here, so that's up at, let's say, 9 around B. 5 is down around here, so that'd be 6. So it looks like if we're doing the average rate, it would be from 5 to 2, it goes from 6, it goes from 9 down to 6, and that would be negative 3 over 3, so it's about a change of negative 1 meter per hour. So D definitely looks out. Let's change back, by the way. Now they're all talking about decrease, so where's the sharpest decrease? Well, B has the largest negative slope that we can see, so I'm inclined to believe my answer is B. Now just really quickly, none of the A through D. If I could see, you know, at some further point an even sharper decline in my graph, then I would know that none of these three are the point in which the depth of the water is falling fastest. But I could do a quick scan. I don't see any sharper decline than the one at B. So I think we're in the clear, and B is going to be our answer. All right, 30 here. If x cubed plus y cubed is 2, then the rate of change dy by dx is equal to... All right, nice simple little implicit differentiation question. 3x squared plus 3 comes down, 3y squared, but we treat y as though it's a function of x. So this is sort of a secret chain rule. We never forget the derivative of our inside function, derivative of y being dy by dx. And we're taking the derivative of both sides of the equation. Derivative of 2 is 0. Now I just want to isolate for dy by dx. So we'll bring the 3x squared over to the other side. And divide by 3y squared. The 3's cancel out. And we're looking at negative x squared over y squared. And that is C. And there we go. 2 more questions to go. The figure below shows the graph of the function f of x between negative 3 and 3. Which of the following statements is correct? So again, I want to read these very carefully, make sure I understand each of them. F of x is continuous. I can rule that one out right away. The function is making jumps in all sorts of places. B, the limit as x approaches negative 1 of f of x does not exist, and f of x is discontinuous. Well, it is discontinuous, but at negative 1, the function from both directions is heading up towards 1. Now, it isn't actually 1. It's a 2 at that point. But remember, limits don't care what happens at the point. So as far as the function's concerned, everything's heading to 1. So this simply is not the case. There is a limit at negative 1. C, the limit as x approaches 0 from below of f of x is 0, and yet it does look like it's coming down here to 0. And the limit as x approaches negative 1 is 1. Well, we already said that, so both of these appear to be correct. So I'm inclined to believe C is my answer. Let's just very carefully read D to make sure that we don't also think it's the answer and thus think that we might be confused. F of negative 1 is 1. Well, no. Above 1, we realize the function actually evaluates to 2. So D is out. C is going to be our answer. All right. 32. The equation of the tangent line to the curve... Ooh, quite the function here. Sine x plus y equals 4x minus 2y at pi. 2 pi is... So you'll notice all these answers here are expressed as y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we'll have to figure out our slope. So our dy by dx. At this particular point, we'll probably have to use both the x and y values. But if I take a look here, all these slopes are different. Slope of 1 there. So this shouldn't be too bad. We'll let the slope sort of do most of the work. All right, so implicit differentiation, derive both sides. Derivative of sine x plus y. It's cos x plus y. Then the derivative of the inside, so derivative of x is 1. Derivative of y is dy by dx. Okay, and then derivative of 4x is 4. Minus 2. Derivative of y is dy by dx. Now, I could expand and rearrange. That would be perfectly fine. I think what I'm going to do instead really quickly is actually plug in my x and y values here. So I'll get cos of pi plus 2 pi is cos 3 pi. 1 plus dy by dx is equal to 4 minus 2 dy by dx. And doing this allows me to say, well, cos of 3 pi is what? Cos of 3 pi is going to be negative 1. So we have negative 1 plus dy by dx is equal to 4 minus 2 dy by dx. And this is just a little easier to work with and manipulate. So we'll get negative 1 minus dy by dx is equal to 4 minus 2 dy by dx. Bring the dy's over to the other side. Bring the minus 1 over to the other side. Negative 1 dy's by dx's plus 2 of them will just be a single dy by dx. And 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. So we're looking for a slope of 5. Just really quickly plug in your x and y to make sure this actually works. 2 pi is 5 pi minus 3 pi. Yes, that's true. So our answer is going to be D. And we are officially done our 2016 midterm. All right. So that was the last 4 questions. If you're looking for a particular question, of course, you can go back and check any of the other videos for any of the particular questions. But they're in groups of 4, as you can see. And this was 29 through 32.